Welcome to my first vlog ever. Don't judge me. My name is Norm, Music Masters, of course, my channel. I'm trying this out for the first time, doing my Victoria. I was actually born in Victoria, August 1st, 1957. I'm a pretty local guy. I'm going to be driving around Victoria and showing you a few sights and sounds and this, that, and the other around our beautiful city of Victoria, British Columbia, the oldest city on the west coast of Canada. It became incorporated August 2nd, 1862. The island we're on right now, this is Vancouver Island. Here's a picture of it. Vancouver Island is the largest island from California to Alaska on the west coast. It's about 425 kilometers long, or about 285 miles long. At the widest point, it'd be about 120 kilometers or 80 miles at the widest point. Victoria itself, about 403,000 people that make up 13 municipalities. If you're from the States, you guys have counties, and of course you have parishes in Louisiana, okay? 403,000 people in Victoria. The island itself is about 890,000, give or take, on the island itself. You know, you would think with this many people living in Victoria, we'd have more than one Starbucks. That's it, one Starbucks in Victoria on every corner. You want to know how many we have? 23, thanks for asking. You want to know the largest Starbucks in Victoria? Humboldt and Douglas Streets, right at the hotel. You'll find the largest Starbucks in Victoria. Victoria is known for a couple of things. We're known as the city of newlyweds, nearly deads, and flower beds. We are the palm tree capital of Canada. We are the bicycle riding capital of Canada. We are the kite flying capital of Canada. If you go up north of us on the island, we're also known as the fishing capital of Canada. Campbell River, British Columbia, about 265 kilometers or 165 miles, give or take, up the island. What I'm going to do here right now is I'm going to show you a couple of monuments behind me. One is the start of the Trans-Canada Highway. The Trans-Canada Highway starts here in Victoria on the island, and it reaches across to St. John's, Newfoundland on the other coast. Now, it's interestingly enough, if you look at the island and St. John's, they're both, our island, Vancouver Island, and St. John's, Newfoundland, are both islands at both ends of the continent. Well, Victoria's at the southern tip of Vancouver Island, and St. John's is on the east coast, right on the tip, facing the Atlantic Ocean. So we're just at Juan de Fuca Strait, leading into the Pacific. So think of it this way, why are the capitals on each end of the islands on the east and west coast? Do you think people would come to Victoria if Vancouver was the capital on the mainland, or there was a city on the east coast by St. John's, Newfoundland, that was the capital, not on the island? Do you think it would have made a big difference? I don't know. Just seems interesting. So, the mile zero sign behind me here right now, I'm showing you the mile zero sign is right here at the base of Douglas and Dallas Roads here in Beacon Hill Park. And this is the most southern tip of the Trans-Canada Highway, because the highway goes across North Van, across Georgia Strait into Nanaimo, and then down here, and this is where it ends up. The other end, of course, St. John's, Newfoundland. And behind it is a beautiful shot of Terry Fox, the one-legged runner. He started his Marathon of Hope in St. John's, Newfoundland in 1980. He was 23 years old. He lost his leg to bone cancer in 1975. Fast forward to 1980, the Marathon of Hope started in St. John's, Newfoundland. He only made it as far as Thunder Bay, Ontario. This is where lung cancer and pneumonia was making him sick now. He was flown back to New Westminster, British Columbia, Canada, right outside Vancouver, where he passed away at Royal Columbian Hospital. He raised over $1 million that only year of his run, and every third Sunday in September, we do have a Terry Fox run to commemorate that impressive young lad. You will find both these monuments right here at Dallas and Douglas Streets at the base of Beacon Hill Park. Let's take you into the park now and show you a few things going on inside the park. Have a great day. Well, where else would you see the largest watering can in the world? In Beacon Hill Park, of course. It opened up in 2007, and my brother and I used to come back in the day, way back in the day, when they had those little blue pools with about 1 foot deep at both ends. Yep, you wouldn't dive in, that's for sure. But yep, the largest watering can in the world. How much did it cost the city? A meager $360,000. What's it used for? Well, look at all the large trees like the one behind it. It's actually used for a beautiful water park for kids in the summertime to douse themselves down on a hot summer day. You just push the button and away goes the water. Who are these two individuals on top of this statue in Beacon Hill Park, just adjacent to the petting zoo? Well, one of them is Mary Campbell. Does that make any sense to anybody? Mary Campbell? How about Robbie Burns? Robert Burns, the great Scottish poet. He wrote music and he wrote poetry. His muse was Mary Campbell. Mary, he had an affair with back in the day. But he leaves on a legacy of poetry and music. The most famous song he wrote was made famous back in 1929 by Guy Lombardo and his Royal Canadians. The name of the song, Auld Lang Syne. Now you know Robbie Burns and his muse, Mary Campbell, here in Beacon Hill Park. The statue was erected here in his memory in 1900. This beautiful sequoia tree, just adjacent to the petting zoo here at Beacon Hill Park, was planted here about 112 years ago. It's one of the tallest and largest in Beacon Hill Park itself. Well, right behind me here, you see a chain link fence. Back in the day when my brother and I used to come to the farm here, we used to have to stand behind this fence. Yeah, back in the day, ring your fingers around the little areas and put your fingers through the fence and try to pet Queenie the horse. Queenie the horse used to reside here. I'll let you know about her in a few minutes. So now I'm standing against the fence here, the one I used to claw my way and try to get into. In about 15 minutes, they're going to have a thing called the running of the goats. What's the running of the goats? Well, the goats start from one pen, their major pen up top, and they run all the way down to their subsidiary pen in the daytime. And then back at night, guess what? You got it. They run from one pen back up to the other. So we'll be going inside the petting zoo in a few seconds to check out the running of the goats. 10 minutes after 10, every day the zoo is open. As of today's date on my vlog, it is May the 17th. It will be open 10 till 5 this afternoon. Seasonal, maybe 10 to 4 sometimes. Check out your local listings for the petting zoo and the running of the goats. Right now on this bright sunny morning here on a Sunday, just the day before Victoria Day Parade, you see all the people in anticipation waiting for the zoo to open. Yes, the running of the goats in about 15 minutes. Get ready. Well, all these people entering the petting zoo now and making their nominal donation, or you can pay the prescribed price at the gate. They're all again coming in and lining up, waiting for the running of the goats. Don't forget, daily at about 10 minutes after the hour, the stampede, and the stampede back in the afternoon, heading back to their original pen. Before we do the running of the goats, here's a beautiful epitaph to Queenie, the last workhorse here in Beacon Hill Park. She was one of the last horses to ever pull a cart with all the dirt and soil and plants around Beacon Hill Park. She was born here in 1950. She passed away in 1970. Yes, my brother and I used to feed this beautiful horse right here. laid to rest. Well, here's one of our locals at the park, one of the beautiful peacocks. You'll find peacocks, peahens, and maybe peafowl or pea chicks. You never know. Just before we head into the goat farm and check out all the goats, here's a couple of the miniature donkeys that reside at the park here. One's name is Opal, and that's the dark gray one, and Taffy is the light gray one. If you can differentiate between light gray and dark gray, there you go. Opal and Taffy, the miniature donkeys. Again, one of our resident peacocks up here on the roof over the goats, strutting his stuff, making his beautiful calls as we go along. Here's a shot of the goose enclosure, Beacon Hill Park, and up ahead we have the little pond that occupies some of these little guys during the daytime. There's a couple of our feathered friends right here for you, and walking around doing their thing. And yet another fine feathered friend here, enjoying its little tete-a-tete right beside the little man-made pond here at the petting zoo. And there's the two resident alpacas that also live in the zoo. The black alpaca's name is Lacey, and the white alpaca's name is Osmond. Running of the goats, or the goat stampede as they call it, as I'm being serenaded by all the peacocks here at the park. Come by and get into the park, enjoy your day here, and take it in. It is well worth it for you and the kids. Maybe forget about the kids. What about just you? Taking in the Beacon Hill Petting Zoo. Open daily. Seasonally, of course. As a last little footnote here about the Children's Petting Zoo, the Coenders actually own run the farm here with some staff, and they've been running this farm since 1985. I heard they just sold their farm in Machosen, which is just outside Victoria here, and they're still running it to this very day. Like I say, you know, if you're looking to come in and you want to do a nominal donation, or you want to pay the prescribed price at the gate, you know, feel free to do so once you come into the farm. Also, the farm, I got a picture right behind me here being posted. Tells you the daily times they're open. And this year, June, I heard 18th, is their 40th year. Maybe check out their website. Check out the Children's Petting Zoo and the Goat Stampede. Every morning, the farm is open, and every afternoon, they speed back from their pen to their original pen, and it all starts the next day the farm is open. Here I'm standing at the base of the world's tallest freestanding totem pole. It was carved out of one-cedar log back in 1956 by Chief Mungo Martin with the help of one of his sons, David Martin and Henry Hunt. All these three gentlemen were all part of the Coast Salish native team. 127 feet 7 inches, 39 meters, or the fourth tallest in the world. Here is a shot of Circle Drive just leaving Beacon Hill Park. So we just back up just a little bit in the wind, of course. Not great for the microphone, but you get the idea. So this part leads back around the corner to the left, to the petting zoo. What's interesting about this road here is, back in the 1840s to 1890s, it was an actual mile-long racetrack for horses, if you can believe it. And one more final shot of the world's tallest freestanding totem pole. Here's one of the coolest signs you'll ever see at Beacon Hill Park. Check out the times you can park here. You can park here for 3.5 hours for free, right along the park. Yeah, enjoy the park for 3.5 hours. Amongst all the beautiful flowers and trees you'll see here at Beacon Hill Park, what about all the beautiful rhododendrons that are spread out throughout this park? This cluster right here, I've heard, is over 100 years old. It was placed here just beside Douglas Street in anticipation of Queen Victoria visiting our beautiful city. This is beautiful Fountain Lake, sometimes known as Goldfish Lake, here in Beacon Hill Park. It was built here in 1888. Beautiful fountain inside the beautiful lake with all the beautiful lily pads and all the, Canadian geese over here on the right. These geese were flown in from Winnipeg, Manitoba earlier this morning. Beautiful Beacon Hill Park and Fountain Lake. What's next? I just had to take a picture of this along our travels. This beautiful tree, and look at its roots. Maybe it's afraid of the ground. I'm not sure. One of the beautiful trees here in Beacon Hill Park. Here's another nice little area, little offshoot area under the bridge from Fountain Lake, and all the beautiful trees, lily pads and such. Once again, a little offshoot off of Fountain Lake over there. Nice little waterfall leading right underneath the bridge here. This beautiful bridge leads into Goodacre Lake, was dedicated to Emily Carr's memory from Alice Carr. Emily Carr was a foremost painter and poet, born in Victoria in 1871. Passed away in Victoria in 1945 at the James Bay Inn. This is a beautiful Goodacre Lake. in Victoria at Beacon Hill Park. Goodacre Lake is named after a council member that used to sit at City Hall back in the 1880s. Henry Cresswell and John Blair put in designs to beautify Beacon Hill Park. Henry Cresswell's designs were going ahead with. At the last minute, they pulled away the designs from Henry and they gave it to John Blair. And that beautiful bridge in the distance is named for John Blair. But let's not gloss over the little guys we have here in the water. These little turtles that sit on the log. When the sun comes out, they put on their little sunglasses, their Ray-Bans, their SPF 90, and raise their little necks to the sun. Sometimes you'll see 15 to 20 turtles on this log, part of Goodacre Lake. Now, coming from Victoria, from the Empress Hotel, a walk to here, this area is about 15 minutes, another 5 minutes, you're at the Beacon Drive-In. I'll tell you about the Beacon Drive-In in a little while. Whoa, one of my favorite places to eat just outside the park. Let's go take a closer shot of the beautiful bridge built in John Blair's memory. Once again, a beautiful shot of the John Blair Memorial Bridge, erected back in the 1889 era, and some shots of the beautiful rhododendron bushes surrounding the beautiful bridge as we speak. While we check out a few more amphibious friends on my log over there, just another footnote about Goodacre Lake. Goodacre Lake was used back in the day in the early 1900s, late 1800s. People used to bring their kayaks out here in boats. Yes, they used to even drop fish in the water. Yeah, of all things. So people could actually go fishing at Goodacre Lake way back when. Look up, look way up. And don't look up too hard. Up in the treetops, way up ahead, is where the blue herons do their nesting, right beside Goodacre Lake. This here is one of the 3 gazebos that were built here in Beacon Hill Park, just across the stone bridge, the John Blair Memorial Bridge. The first gazebo was built here in the late 1880s, and it was used for bands to participate and stand around and play music at. Before the band shell was created in 1948. This gazebo, my brother and I used to come by all the time, maybe on Sundays after church, check out all the little animals that used to be behind the little chain link fence that used to surround this beautiful gazebo that you see in front of you now. Back in the day, so now it's a beautiful place to come and read up on a lot of history around Beacon Hill Park and the surrounding areas, and a lot of cool pictures. Here is a Cameron band shell in Beacon Hill Park. Quiet now, but in the summertime, July and August, they have a lot of cool entertainment on stage here. Check out the local entertainment guide. This actual structure has an actual address. It's 250 Bridge Way. If you can believe it, it actually has an address. Maybe come out and check out the Cameron band shell. Opened up here as the 3rd opening of a band shell in Beacon Hill Park in 1948. Well, I have one last lady to show you here. This is the Moss Lady statue. It sits right between Cameron Bandshell and Douglas Street, so it gives you an idea where she sits at. The Moss Lady is located behind the bandshell. It was constructed with cement, boulders, metal pipe, and vinyl-coated chicken wire and a clay-based soil. The soil is especially designed to have an acidic pH suitable for moss. Hence the Moss Lady. Right now, I've been told by a few locals, as myself, that she has no moss on her right now. She's kind of bare, so don't look at her too long. You're not allowed to look at naked ladies. Anyways, it was designed by artist Dale Dobert back in the day, and she was installed in the park in 2015. Lay quiet and nice, my beautiful Moss Lady of Beacon Hill Park. Let's head over to the Beacon Drive-In, get something to eat. I'll do a little bit of a heads up for you about Beacon Hill Drive-In coming up. Now remember at the beginning of my vlog I said There were no retail sales allowed or no clear cutting inside the park because the park was left to the city of Victoria in 1862 by the Hudson's Bay Fur Trading Outpost and Sir James Douglas. What about right across the street from the park? This is the Beacon Drive-In. The Beacon Drive-In opened up in 1958. Great little diner. If you're looking for just good old breakfast, lunch, and dinner, this is the place to go. Right across the street from the park. Check it out. I'll show you a bit of the menu coming up.
The 1069 is
Well, that's my vlog, my first vlog ever for Beacon Hill Park and Victoria. If you have a suggestion, put it in the comment box below and let me know if there's something you'd like me to talk about in our city. And like I say, this is my city. I was born and raised here, haven't moved, maybe going on vacations once in a while. Anyways, leave a comment below if you'd like to show you something we have here to offer you in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, the oldest city on the west coast of Canada. See you in the next vlog.